Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we currently have a small uprising in Arabia. We have a just overall political problem, and we definitely need to work on that. For the time being, there's not a lot that we can do about it. I do want to get this revolution, I want to enact a presidential republic. Either way, we're going to have a problem. And this is going to, of course, drop back off. They can't get the revolution maximized at this point. Wow, we're pushing in fast over here. Okay, so the war against the Bedouin uprising is started. Intelligentsia interest group attraction would be good here, actually. I want the intelligentsia to be relatively popular at this moment and be doing well there. We're on interventionism right now. We could go for laissez-faire. That said, I really do want to go for presidential republic, and we have 8 months before we can do that. So we're going to work our way through this. We are, of course, working on paying off our debts here. Once we get the Bedouin uprising back under control, they're going to have messed up some of our production methods and buildings and such, I'm sure. But we'll get to work on that. I'm a little concerned about our bureaucracy situation right now, but I do want to get these chemical plants built. We've got some railways and coal mines that we're working on. That's all fine for the time being. We can definitely send you out over to this front. We don't need multiple people up here. We're not making a lot of progress up here, but we're definitely making solid progress through the Bedouin uprising. No issues there, that's for sure. And you have a hammer. Severe unrest in Gambia. I mean, yeah. We'll reprimand the general and get rid of that plan. Cool. So for now, that's reasonably fine. The main problem, of course, is that we want to enact presidential republic. We can't do it right now, and this only went revolutionary because we abandoned it previously because we were going to have a similar revolution. We're going to do this once we can. It's 8 months away. So for now, that's reasonably fine. Our GDP is doing fairly well. We have some market access issues. We have some standard of living issues as well. The United Belgian States wants a defensive pact with us. We'll decline that for now. Okay, so we're continuing to press through the Bedouin uprising here. This is no problem. We're going to crush that secession, of course. They don't really have a chance. I'm surprised there's not a front over here, but I guess this is impassable. Yeah, that would be why. So there's Oman down over here that we would have to end up going for. I think we're going to tell Alexander Murray to launch a naval invasion of Oman. So he's off to do that. That'll happen eventually. 6 weeks on that one. Okay, cool. That's reasonably fine. Do we actually care about this? We'll let this procession go ahead. And that actually dropped the revolution progress, but we don't care. It was at its cap. It wasn't going to get higher. Enact census suffrage, huh? I mean, overall, we want to get off of monarchy. That is one of our main goals right now. Enacting census suffrage, can we even do that right now? Oh, we're on wealth voting right now. The intelligentsia would support it. It would radicalize the landed gentry, but do we care? Let's do it. We have time before we can try to enact the presidential republic, and this will throw a bone to the intelligentsia. So that would be fine. I would love to get off of wealth voting. That on its own would be huge for us. Ideally, before the next election, which appears that that's going to be fine. How much are we losing in unrealized taxes? Actually, a lot. A lot of that, though, is going to be because of our radicalism, to be clear. So that's fine. I do want to get these guys moved over to this front here. They'll get that all cleaned up. No problem whatsoever. We, of course, have Oman successfully invaded. The rural folk are sowing discord. I mean, that's not shocking. We'll give them concessions and appeasement. That'll be fine. Cool. So this rebellion is going to be crushed very shortly. There's no doubt about that. But we're not surprised about any of this upheaval, right? This is deeply unsurprising with the way we've been running things. This is fully expected right now. So we could consider dropping taxes fairly soon. And that wouldn't be a bad thing, all things considered. Dropping taxes is a good idea. I do think that these are going to take so long to build. Minus 75% construction efficiency? Yikes. Do we have any decrees out right now? We do not. Okay. Well, that's going to be a while. The Trucial States have capitulated. So at this point, I want to go in and reset production methods over here. So we'll get all of those production methods aligned up. That's absolutely great. And the question now is, what did they do to our resources out over this way? They removed some oil rigs. We don't care too much about that right now. Government administrations, I want to check taxation capacity here. Okay, so we're going to need a decent amount. 1.39K. I'm trying. There we go. Start button didn't want to work. I'm trying to pull up a calculator here. And 1.39K, so 1390 divided by, what is this, 65? 65. That is, we need 22 of these to break even. Okay, so in Munster, we're going to take this up to 14. And then 11 in Lancashire. And that will bring these to economy of scale caps, and that should do the trick for the time being. Cool. So that's about 17 weeks out, no problem. We're still working on paying off our debts, and that will reduce our interest payments, which is good. Rubber discovered in Ghana, and we've got the mob approaching here. We'll order the troops to stand down. This is fine. This is absolutely fine. We've got a rubber rush going on. We don't want to exhaust the soil. And this is all looking reasonably good. We need a bunch of government administrations, although really what we need more than anything is our government administrations being more efficient in their bureaucracy production, which would be telephone switchboards, but we are a ways away from that. So that's all fine for right now. We're continuing to colonize over here at an absolutely breakneck pace. Colonizing Africa is going very swiftly indeed. And that's all great. We're very happy about that. We're hoping census suffrage passes fairly quickly. Fingers crossed on that one. And we'll see what ends up happening there. But I'm hoping that we just go straight on through. That would be ideal. I kind of doubt it. With the way things have been going, it'll be awkward, but these government administrations are 10 weeks out. That's going to be a big gain for us financially. Keep in mind, though, I don't believe that all 100K of this is... Average uncollected taxes is 0%. Really? Yeah, 9.4% tax waste. So our current tax waste percentage is what? 15. So we're going to get 9.4% of this. And so what is 15 divided by 9.4? Well, we're going to get about 2/3 of it. So that's about 66K. That's not bad. Heavy-handedness sounds awkward. Victoria should probably stand down. Stand down, Victoria. You'll be fine. Okay, any other state actions that we can do here? So state incorporations. Yes. We can get 2 going. Beautiful. And then I want to check in on colonies. No colonies to be made. And no interest to be declared at this time either. Okay, sounds good. So that's all fine. The colonization of Northern Cape and Zambezia have both completed. So we really probably should take a look to see if any of those can be incorporated. And in fact, they both can. Fantastic. So we'll get those incorporating, no problem whatsoever. And that doesn't give us additional colonies that we can do, does it? No, we pretty much have all of the colonization space here done. Pretty close anyway. So that's good. We did pass straight into drafting on the census suffrage, so that's wonderful. I'm very pleased about that. And we're now positive in our bureaucracy. I love to see that. That, of course, means that we can work up our home affairs, which will reduce some of this radicalism. That would be absolutely wonderful. I'd also like to continue to increase our workplace safety office. So that'll be good as well. In the hands of the state, huh? The death of a martyr, huh? Well, plus radicalism, but that'll be fine for now, I guess. They're very high radicalism. We will deal with this when we can. We just are not capable of dealing with it right now. Our debt is coming down nicely. We're going to look to cut taxes very soon. What is our current legitimacy? Our legitimacy is 61. We can get up to like 71. Actually, no, we can get up to like 81 by coming down here. That would put us in a legitimate government. So that would be good. How much are we looking to be at? 671? Okay. Colonization finished. We definitely want to take a look at whether we can incorporate that or not. And we can, so we'll get that going. Cool. So we're currently 13 weeks away on these railways. It's slow. No doubt about that. I want to check in on our infrastructure in general. So at minus 70 in Yorkshire, we should certainly think about bringing this up by 5. In Tianjin, we should be okay. In Hale, this is unsubsidized. That's interesting. I was under the impression that all railways were subsidized. They should be. So we'll do that for now. In British North Cameroon, we definitely should think about building 4 levels of railway. In Munster, 1. In Zanzibar, 1. And in British Yemen, 1. And I'll also build 1 anywhere where there's not an existing level of construction. These are probably going to be slow constructions, but we're just building 1 level in each of these locations for right now. Cool. So that'll be fine for the time being. And actually, they're not that slow of constructions. They're kind of slow. But we'll get all these coal mines done. That's all looking relatively good. Gone in a flash, huh? Victoria is actually dead because a revolutionary threw himself under the carriage with a live grenade, slaying both the queen and himself. Well, we'll mourn our beloved queen. And that actually dropped them down to high revolutionary. So Victoria is dead, and it is now Henry of Hanover. And Netherlands has sided with Netherlands. Good job, Netherlands. Perfect. But that's fine. We want to get off of monarchy anyway. Actually, this has gone away. It's no longer revolutionary. So apparently the death of the queen was what needed to happen there. I do want to enact presidential republic, or honestly parliamentary republic would be better. But this is what they're pushing for, is a presidential republic. And that would be ideal. But wow, radicalism really dropped off after the queen was killed. Cool. So that's absolutely fine, right? We're going to see what happens with census suffrage here. Backroom deals. Okay, so we have a stall here. So we got a setback. That's okay. We're doing very well with the census suffrage, to be honest. So I'd like to go down to, like universal suffrage would be ideal, but we don't really have any way to do that at this juncture. Census suffrage on its own would be better, because that will, of course, give us... Let's see here. Legitimacy based on government clout and based on votes from literate pop votes. Okay. Which we're 60% literacy. So that's not terrible. Speaking of literacy, how are we doing on our cap here? We are at our innovation cap. Noted. So that's absolutely fine. We currently have about 35K in unrealized taxes, 87.5K in interest. We're still working on paying this down, and that's absolutely okay for the moment. I want to potentially check in on the status of universities. We wouldn't mind building at least a couple of additional universities. We're now below our innovation cap. So I want to build these potentially in Nantong. That would be an interesting place to build them. And actually, yeah, that would be absolutely fine. I'm going to build merely 5 universities. So we'll have those done relatively soon, and that will boost up our innovation up above our cap again. That'll be great. And census suffrage will hopefully pass fairly soon here. We're still going to pass presidential republic when we can. We hope. But Victoria's assassination definitely lowered the temperature. There's no doubt about that, although it's creeping back upward. This isn't shocking, considering our current situation. But I want to continue paying down our debts as quickly as we can. We've got about 60 million here. We're paying a lot in interest, although it has dropped substantially. I would definitely like to continue paying that down. So we're just going to continue these constructions for the time being. We'll allow all of these railways to finish up. I want to check in and make sure, yeah, all of these are considered subsidized. That's absolutely great. We're about to get improved fertilizer, which should improve our economy as well. In theory. Checking in here, explosives are expensive. That's been pretty normal for a while now. Improved fertilizer might help that, though. Nitrogen fixation would be pretty decent. That'd be 6 years out, though. I think that we're better off going for, like, reinforced concrete and getting additional construction sector throughput at this point. So that's what we'll go for there, and I do want to get these production methods underway. So in chemical plants, we'll grab improved fertilizer, and that's going to be absolutely great. That'll get us a lot of additional fertilizer output and 234k substitution. That's impressive. In our rural areas, of course, we're going to want to start using fertilizer instead of soil-enriched farming, which will be absolutely great, and that'll drive up the demand for fertilizer as well. So that's just kind of a cyclical improvement, right? We're producing more fertilizer, but we're also needing more fertilizer to produce more goods. So that's great. We love that. We are mildly negative in our authority, and by mildly, I mean quite a lot. Legacy of Regicide is what's causing this, almost entirely. Okay. For the time being, it's reasonably fine. We're continuing to pay off our debts, and we're going to start cutting our taxes shortly. But we're not ready to do that at this time. 411k from income taxes. We know that dropping down to here would be 700k in change in revenue. We're going to have to slowly work our way down. There's a native uprising against us. That's fine. We're going to send, like, Norman here. We're going to send Norman down. There you go, Norman. Go have fun. Cool. So Norman's going to have some fun in Africa, and we are not concerned about this. We'll see what happens with our census suffrage here. Hopefully it passes into voting. But we've only got a 31% chance on that. Sad. We stalled again. We could grab an additional minus 30% enactment time, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So this is now enacting, in theory, much more quickly, but we can start working on enacting Presidential Republic at this point, I'm quite certain. And we're just destroying the price of coal. I'm quite certain on that, too. We're almost through our coal constructions, though, so that should be reasonably fine. Threshing machines being done is, of course, going to further revolutionize our farming. So checking in here, we can grab steam-powered thresher machines. That means that we're going to need tools and, importantly, coal. Coal is going to be a big deal here. So yes, this is currently reading negative for a lot of these, but I'm not too concerned about that. That should be fine. We're going to do that as is, and driving the price of coal up would actually be very beneficial for us. So we would like that. We're continuing to build a lot of coal mines, remember, and we shouldn't have any coal shortages for a while. Now we're starting to work on these ports. So that's noted. I would like to get our port production finished, like completely maxed out. That would be a good thing, but there's a lot of ports to be built here. There's another native uprising. No shockers there. We're colonizing incredibly quickly, right? So we're just going to head on out over this direction. No problem there. That's already dealt with. Minus 226 authority. Yeah, the corrupt bargains twice is a big part of this. And then there's the legacy of Regicide. Okay, so home affairs goes up. That's great. We cannot take these up anymore, correct? And there's workplace safety going up as well. Yeah, that's as good as we can get for the moment. So that's looking good. We're going to see what happens with census suffrage here soon. And this war, of course, is broken out. We have no problems here. We're going to win that extraordinarily easily. I want to check in on how we're doing. We're 5 weeks away from finishing our coal mines. Okay, let's just get all of these ports completed then. Having access to all of these ports is probably overkill at this moment, but I want to make sure that we have access for all of our maritime trade. I want to make sure that we're not running into any convoy issues, which we have in the past. So I just want to get these all maxed out, and some of these are going to be pretty slow to construct, like this, where we've got low construction efficiency, right? Well, some of them are not too bad, though. Okay, there we go. Gold has been depleted in New South Wales. We continue being able to expand this port in Zanzibar. I'm not sure what's going on with this one. We'll move on from that for now, and we'll probably come back to that in a bit. That might just be a bug. So we'll just do this first pass, and then we'll get a second pass soon enough. But I want to get all these ports built. Just a top level of port in... Oh, hello. Apparently, the ports went away there when that war broke out. Cool. Just a top level of ports in all of our coastal locations will eventually be useful. For the time being, this will be a bit of a drain on our resources, but it will eventually be very, very useful. So let's get all of... I'm actually surprised that we have this many territories. Now that I think about it, I shouldn't be. But I wish that we could Alt-Control-Click to queue up 10 at a time. Unfortunately, we cannot do that. That is not an option that is available. If we were to Control-Click, it would put it at the bottom of the list, which would be mildly annoying. Okay. There's actually still a lot here to go. We should be unpaused while we're doing this. Beautiful. I actually want to sort by state here. This is going to make things a little bit strange, but they're not going to be moving around like they were before. So we'll just go through here, get all of these ports queued up. There's a lot of port levels here. And yes, this will take a little bit to construct. But once this is done, this should, in theory, make sure that we don't have any sort of convoy issues. We will almost certainly have some issues in other ways. Specifically, we're probably going to have some issues with trade ships. That's okay. We can make trade ships. I'm completely okay with this. Right now, we're primarily focused on dropping our debt. That is the primary goal at this moment, and getting all of this done would be wonderful. There's confusion and delay occurring here. Another -10 bureaucracy? The bill will be passed when the process is completed. And 10 political support. Okay, sure. So we'll continue to move forward here. There's extreme support for the presidential republic now, and we want to put that in. That is definitely a thing that we want. We're just not in a position where we can do it until census suffrage is passed, right? So that's the idea here. Okay, so this is our first pass of all of these ports. And I think that should be fine. This will take some time to build all of this. No doubt about it. We're not working on this port in Transjordan, which is apparently maxed out. It's moving around. We'll keep an eye on that situation. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of ports to build here. I want to go over here. And I want to move up these coal mines and get those done first. Then we'll work on all of these ports as well. Yeah, there's a lot of these, like 37 pages of ports. Luckily, ports build fairly quickly. And let's hop on back to the first page here. And yeah, it's like 15 weeks per port, I think. A proletarian revolt. How rude. Hang on, we've actually got a number of things going against us here. So this is... What is actually against us? Just this proletarian revolt here. So we would come out over here and advance over here. Cool. No problem there. I would like to do something over here. So over in Bhopal, what can we not do here? Why can we not do anything here? Are we still truced? No, we are not. So why is this unavailable to, say, make a dominion? We're already fighting in a war. Okay, it's because of this. Sure, we'll get to Bhopal in a little bit then. That'll be fine. We've got a lot of stuff going on right now. We are paying off our debts rather quickly at this point, so that's great. We're doing very, very solidly here. And we're constructing very heavily. Wow, another stall here. Collaboration with old leadership. That's not ideal. Not ideal at all. There's human rights being unlocked, though, so that's nice. Definitely going to be good to have that, and we'll be working away at these ports for a while. There's no doubt about that one. We've got 550 weeks in this construction queue at this time, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll fight off this peasant revolt off over here and continue to work away on moving towards a republican form of government. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Shadow Wolf, Mlohan80, Rogue Corvid, Andy Magar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.